Okay, well, hello, buenos dias, everybody. Welcome to another fall semester, another school year. 2015 is just rapidly winding down, and soon we'll be talking about trick or treat, pumpkin pie, and deck the halls, and all of that fun stuff, and all the Charlie Brown programs will be coming on your TV screen pretty soon. All right, well, listen, it's great to see all of you. I'm Professor Cañedo, or Profesor Cañedo, or just simply El Profesor, El Maestro, and I'm really happy to be here with you guys for these next 8 weeks. And this is the introduction video of myself to those of you in both the Southwestern College Mas Mexican American Studies 141, and also for the San Diego Mesa College Chicano Studies 141 A class. Both you guys, both these sections will be running at the same time for 8 weeks. There are some minor differences between the two, and I'll have more specific videos for all of you in the next few days. But for today, I just want to introduce myself, tell you a little bit about who El Profesor Cañedo is all about, my interests, my teaching background, and other interesting tidbits of information that you might find about El Profesor. Uh, okay, well, listen. First up, before we get going to a little bit about myself, I just want to mention that for this first week, there's already some readings to go in what's called the weekly module section. So whether you're in the 141 class or the 141A class, right now, please start checking out the class. Be sure to review the syllabus, the schedule, which is at the end of the syllabus. There's also, of course, the assignment section, and and then there's the module section, which has all of the readings which are not part of the textbooks. The textbooks are virtually the same for both sections, but when I have more specific videos about each class, I'll get into a lot more detail about the textbooks and other administrative nuts and bolts of bureaucratic stuff. um, let's see what else I should mention at this point in time. But yes, in fact, tomorrow, Tuesday, the second day of of the semester, I'll go ahead and have more specific videos about each class in which I go over everything point by point about the class. And one note about the upcoming videos that I'll have for you guys. A lot of the videos that I have for you are ones that are recorded earlier in the year, back during the spring semester. There might be a couple of videos which are recorded during the just a few weeks ago during the summer session. So even though the videos are fairly recent that I recorded them during the year, the dates will be off. In some cases, I'll be mentioning dates in which, don't forget, everybody, the due date is coming up March 15th, or by April 3rd. Make sure you let me know about this, blah blah blah. So in those videos, please disregard any due dates that I mentioned, but focus mainly on the information that is when I tell you. How to look for things, whether it's through the EBSCO article databases, or whether for those of you in the 141 class, I'm showing you how to complete the journal section. So just be aware that, everybody, a lot of the videos that you'll be seeing for the next couple of weeks, the dates will be different in that these are earlier videos, but for all intents and purposes, the information that I'm presenting in those videos pertains to what we're doing here in the fall semester. All right, so I just wanted to get that bit of information out of the way. All right, well, a few words about myself, a few words of the man behind the scenes, the man running the shows, so to speak. Okay, well, as you can see, of course, we're definitely on an online setting. So instead of me talking to you in the classroom, whether it's on the Southwestern campus or the Mesa campus, I'm broadcasting here from my home headquarters, my world headquarters, so to speak. And my home is actually not in San Diego County. I'm up here in Riverside County. I'm in an area north of Temecula and east of Murrieta. I'm in a section known as French Valley. It's a bit of a growing section of Riverside County. It's sort of tucked away between Temecula, Murrieta, Hemet, and also Winchester. So it's an area of Riverside County that's That's like I said, mainly north of Temecula, east of Murrieta, right along the Highway 7. So roughly between Highway 79, Winchester Road, and where Lake Skinner is located. So those of you who go to the wine and balloon festivals, or you go up to Hemet quite a bit, or if you're going into Palm Springs and the Desert Cities, you take the 79 to the 74, and then go past San Jacinto, and then catch the I think either the 10 or the 60. Right along that route. So you might say it's definitely a country living, but there is civilization here. There's a Carl's Jr., there's a Chevron station, there's a Stater Brothers, so and a little pizza place. So as long as those are in the area, that's all that that I pretty much need. But even though the majority of my classes are online and have been for about the past 9 or 10 years, I do have some on-campus sections this semester. In fact, for both Southwestern and Mesa, I've got on-campus sections of both of these classes. So if you're on the Mesa campus on Tuesday and Thursday, you can catch up with me after 11 a.m. right there in the G100 section. So where Professors Velez and Lopez have their offices, you'll find me hanging around there on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Likewise, for those of you at Southwestern, if you're on campus Monday and Wednesday evenings, I have a late class. In fact, the first session is later on this evening. So I have a late class uh, which starts after about 6:30 p.m. Mondays and Wednesdays. So if you're roaming around the 470 building, uh, you might find me there as early as 5:30. So if you need to talk to me, then I can definitely talk to you before my my Monday Wednesday class at Southwestern, or for those of you in the 141A class, uh, you I can talk to you Tuesdays and Thursdays after 11 a.m. All right. Okay, so but besides being here at both Mesa and Southwestern, I'm also at Grossmont College. I do online sections of the History 108 online classes, which is United States of History. I've been doing a lot of these classes online and on campus for many years. I've been all over the map, so to speak. But I really enjoy doing these online classes. Of course, I like the flexibility, and I like the fact that I can experiment and do new things with these, whether it's using video. This is the third year in which I'm making a lot of use of video to put into the classes, and I'm also using all kinds of new software technologies. And in fact, for this semester. Probably won't be able to get to it for us or any of my other classes, but hopefully for next year, start making use of iMovies. You make videos, maybe even music videos for my class. So hope to have that ready. If I don't have that ready by spring of next year, then for sure this time next year for the fall of 2016, I should have that stuff ready to go. All right, in terms of where I'm from, my background, I'm actually a native of the San Diego area, South Bay to be exact, born and raised in National City. Went to the whole elementary school, junior high, and high school in the South Bay. I actually came out of Hilltop High in Chula Vista. Go Lancers! And and then after I got out of Hilltop, I went on to UCSD. My BA is actually in anthropology, and then I went on to San Diego State after that. And my MA is actually in Latin American Studies. So that fits in perfectly. The Latin American Studies is stuff in which I got into a lot of coverage of the of Mesoamerica, the Olmecs, Teotihuacan, the Aztecs, of course, the Toltecs, the Maya. So a lot of the topics that I covered in my San Diego State class will definitely come in quite handy for all of us, both the 141 and the 141A sections. But besides Mesoamerica, my teaching interests also range to things such as Spanish colonialism, the mission system, and into more U.S.-based topics such as Manifest Destiny, which of course we'll be finishing off with at the end of the session. At the end of the session, as we get into late September, early October, and then in terms of modern topics, I also do for Southwestern. I've done sections of 142. For Mesa, I've done sections of 141B, in which we've been to more modern Chicano Mexican American themes. So I get into a lot of themes such as culture, society, labor issues, Cesar Chavez, Dolores Huerta, and of course the Chicano movement itself. Um, let's see what else I should mention in terms of things about myself. Okay, well, outside interests, things that I do when I'm not being el profesor. Um, uh, I think many of you watching, I'm definitely a big sports fan, but I'm not really a big San Diego fan. I guess you could say I've kind of joined the dark side in the past few years in that I'm actually a Dodgers fan. Yeah, I like the Dodgers, but I was a big fan of the Dodgers back when I was a little guy. So back during the times when the people like Steve Garvey and Reggie Smith, Ron Cey, Dusty Baker, Don Sutton, all of those guys were pitching. And then of course when Fernando came and joined the Dodgers, I was a big fan of them. But I got away from them for many years. Since I was in high school, I was like with most of my friends, I was definitely a Padres fan. Uh, but I guess you could say I've gone back. I've gone back to my roots. I've gone back to the Dodgers. But I love the Tigers. I'm a big fan of the Detroit Tigers. I've seen a couple games there in the last few years. Uh, they're definitely having a bit of a tough season, but maybe they'll come back strong next season. But besides baseball, hockey is actually my favorite spectator sport. So the Red Wings and the Ducks, I follow those two teams religiously. Haven't been able to get to a Ducks game in the past 5 or 6 years. Maybe I can get to a game coming up in the upcoming season. As for other sports, football, I'm not really a rabid football fan, so it's not like some of my high school friends who are still big fans about the Chargers and of course they say really crazy and silly stuff about the Raiders, that they're clowns, they're goons, they're thugs, they're this, they're that, blah 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 blah. So I tend to avoid all of that. I do like the Lions, so I'm hoping the Lions can put up together a good season. And maybe go a little bit deeper into the playoffs. Basketball, I don't really follow basketball that much. I will watch the Clippers, but basketball of the four major sports, you might say they're a distant fourth on the list. But definitely hockey and baseball. Those are the two things I watch quite regularly. As for music interests, um, well, I guess you could say I'm a product of the old times. That is the that is the late '70s, early '80s. So all of the rock and roll that was popular back then, and a lot of the bands still going to the States. So whether it's Rush and of course Motley Crue, they're just finishing up their career. So I'll be checking out their show in Las Vegas at the end of the year. Iron Maiden, uh, Judas Priest, but also other bands too, such as ZZ Top, Steely Dan, Deep Purple, the Eagles, of course, all of those bands. So those are the things that I listen to quite a bit. I'm also a big fan of jazz, especially jazz that came after World War II. That is the origins of what we know as the bebop period. I do cover jazz quite a bit in my Grossmont Modern U.S. History class. So especially people like of course, like Charlie Parker, Dizzy Gillespie, but Miles Davis, far and away, is my favorite guy. So whether it's the stuff that he did when he came out in the 1950s, or some of the more radical experimental stuff that he did in the late 60s into the 1970s, I'm a big fan of virtually everything that he did up until he passed away about about 25 years ago. All right, and anything else I should say about it? Oh, in terms of in terms of furry friends, pets, I've got quite a few. I've got a menagerie of some feline friends. I have two Persian cats and a white cat, an older white cat named Nick, who likes to cause a lot of mischief. And in fact, one of the things that I'll have for you guys, whether it's again for the those of you in the 141 or 141A class, in the weekly module starting next week, I've got some older videos that I've done over the past 2 years in which I do a preview of the reading. I'm going to embed these videos inside the module starting next week. And a lot of these videos, I do a recap or a preview of what to expect in the readings, how to best approach the readings. Some of the videos that I've recorded have been outdoors, and uh, uh, and a couple of my furry friends, especially Nick, uh, like to let's put it this way, like to make their presence felt. And I think you'll find in a couple of videos where he almost takes over the recording process, and I find myself having to pause the recording to get him out of the way. So even though my boy's getting up there in years, he'll be 16 in the fall. Sometimes he's still rambunctious and acts like a like a kitten or a one or 2 year old cat. Okay, anything else I should mention here? No, I think that pretty much covers it. So this introduction video came in at around 15 minutes. A lot of my other videos will be a little bit longer, maybe in some cases much longer. Especially the videos in which I do a preview of the class. Uh, so so please, just have patience with me in some of those videos as I go through the topics about the class. But I want to make sure that I cover everything as detailed as possible, so there's no confusion. You know exactly what to expect from the class, from the assignments. You know what my expectations are and things of that nature. So. In essence, if you take the approach that a lot of the videos are comparable to what you would see me do in a regular on-campus setting, that is, that is when you come into class, you take your seat, the 9:30 rolls around 9:35, and say, okay, buenos dias, everybody. Here's the plan for today. Blah blah blah. So if you look at the videos in that perspective, then they won't seem as I guess a long, boring, monotonous, blah blah blah, and any of those terms. Okay, all right. So with it, everybody, that concludes it from here. That concludes this introduction video for the first week. Of course, please start introducing yourselves in each class, either 141 or 141A. Go to the discussion board, go to the introductions form, tell me a little bit about yourselves. I will reply to you. I'll say hello to each and every one of you toward the end of the week, maybe close toward the weekend. So Saturday and Sundays when I'll start finally getting a chance to say hello and virtually meet all of you after I read your introductions. But plenty more videos for the next few days. I'll have a detailed video about how the class works coming up tomorrow, and then by the end of the week, there'll be a video in terms of how the discussion board process works. So I'm going to split the class up into three large groups. I'll have the group rosters ready by the middle of the week, middle or Wednesday or Thursday. So around that time, most likely Thursday or Friday, I'll have the video in which I describe how the discussion board process works. Okay, all right, everyone. So that's it. Have a good first day of the semester. Good luck to all of you this first week. Make sure you get all your administrative stuff taken care of, parking permits, financial aid, books, anything and everything. And then, of course, you know where the best parking spots are, what time to be there, what time not to be there. So get all that taken care of these next few days, and you guys have a great first day. And I'll catch up with you again tomorrow, in which I talk in more detail about each of these sections, both the 141 and the 141A class.